So no joke, you guys. As soon as I was about to press on the recording button to do the review off of this movie, the power seems to have gone out. So I could go ahead and just open the curtains and let the natural lighting take place, but I figured since this movie was just so eerie and spooky, especially during the Halloween season, I thought to myself, why not just go ahead and do this in the dark with my handy dandy flashlight? So I said, let's go ahead and do it. So I went ahead, got the flashlight, set back up my camera, and here we are now going to talk about this movie. And wow. We're going to be talking about the movie Weapons. And my goodness, everybody. Wow. This is what I'm talking about, everybody. When it comes to, this is original content. This is something that comes off of the very minds of the filmmaker. This is what I'm talking about, Hollywood. This is what I'm saying is, get excellent writing, get good actors to deliver on the performances that they give in these scenes. You can tell that this script was very well thought of. It was very well put together. So put together, I did some research and I found out that there were many different studios bidding for this script, especially even from Monkey Paw Studios, from Universal Studios, from Jordan Peele. And he was so upset that he had lost it that he had fired some of his crew members for losing this bid. That's how good the script was, and it actually is. I saw the trailers for these for this movie. I loved the marketing because if you ask me nowadays, I find that horror movies are very more demonic related, and those are the kind of movies I will not go and watch. There are some boundaries for me that I will not go and watch when it comes to a movie that has any demonic put-ins, and so I won't go watch those, like Evil Dead. I will not go and watch. Conjuring. I will not watch. So this one, it felt like there was some demonic material in here, but yet when it came to watching the trailer and then watching the looking at the poster, anything that's marketing to this film, it gained my interest in some sort of way. I really wanted to watch this movie. So when it was released into theaters, I completely missed the opportunity. There were so many other things, so many other different priorities that I had to attend to. And so I missed the chance to go into the theaters and watch it. And said, oh boy, did I regret it. I really regret it, because this would have been an excellent theatrical experience. Because I saw this, it's now on HBO Max, like how I did with The Substance. I watched this on HBO Max, and I wasn't able to watch it completely from beginning to end. There's sometimes I have to pause the movie in order to attend other things. But while I was absent of the film, I kept thinking to myself, when am I going to get when am I going to get the chance to go back to watching this movie and see what's going to happen next? Because what really makes this movie so interesting is the mystery of these missing children. Supposedly, what from the subtext that it gives you, at precisely 2:17 a.m., 17 children from this in particular classroom just got out of bed, opened the door, and ran off into the darkness and never returned. That there alone, wow. And they even say that it's based on true, it's a true story. I looked it up. It's not a true story. This is all original content. I love the fact that this came out the very minds of the writer. I love it. It's so great. And there's a lot of things in the movie that seem very questionable, that don't really give off a lot of explanations as to why it is the way it is. And from an interview with the director that I've seen, he clarifies that the way that these questions are brought are brought out into the movie. It's just for the audiences. It's more fun for the audiences to leave to leave the movie scratching their heads still and asking themselves, what's the explanation? You know, what he wants them to come up with their own explanation as to why this is what it is. You know, it's not lazy writing. It's actually what I found brilliant writing. There are some moments in this movie where it drags. There are other films out there that do the dragging formula in order to stretch out the film's timing process, and it's just boring. It's just boring. But this one in particularly, when it does the dragging, it's meant for a purpose. It's actually very entertaining. I was not bored at all throughout this movie. I loved the suspense. I loved the jump scares. I loved everything when it came to the characters. I loved how the way the movie was prescribed with each individual character's perspective of the film. That's great. It reminds me a lot of my favorite TV show of all time, J.J. Abrams' Lost. The entitlement of the show is what would give the audiences, if you don't follow along, is you're gonna legitimately get lost. But this one right here, I love on how one in particular story is told, and there are so many gaps in that storyline that once it jumps into the next character's perspective, it answers some of those gaps. But yet there's still more gaps within that other character's story that it's just filled in within the one after that. And I love that. It just keeps on revealing little by little as to what is actually going on here. And I loved that so very much. It was just so fantastic. Julia Garner, who we all know right now as the Silver Surfer in the recent Fantastic Four movie, is in this. There is no star in this movie, but the teacher that Julia Garner plays in this is it puts up front as if she is the main character, but she's not the main character. She's actually a character who does suffer a lot in this, since the students that were taken, since the students that had just disappeared are really just every single student in her classroom. So parents, staff, school staffs, they're all questioning this teacher. Is she doing something? She has to be responsible for this, since it's just only her classroom. And then we also get Thanos himself, Mr. Josh Brolin. And from what I found out, when it came to this character, it wasn't even originally casted for Josh Brolin. It was actually, guess who it was? Mr. Pedro Pascal. A lot of people are not very fond of him because of the fact that he is just in practically everything. It doesn't bother me. I actually loved him as Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie. And knowing that he's in so many other different projects, wow. I mean, first time I've heard of him was when he was the Mandalorian. And I always ask myself, who's Pedro Pascal? Who's underneath that helmet? And when I finally get to see his face when he's revealed, I'm like, okay. And then I start seeing him everywhere. He's in a lot of projects, and a lot of people are not very fond of that. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. If he was in this movie, it wouldn't bother me because I love Pedro Pascal. I didn't see any complaints of Kevin Hart being in everything. I didn't see any complaints of Dwayne Johnson being in anything. I didn't see any complaints about Samuel L. Jackson being in practically everything. But yet, when you see Pedro Pascal, you get a lot of complaints. And for me, I'm not complaining. I actually love his work, and I love the way that how he, transforms himself into these many different characters that he, performs in these movies that he's in. So if I would have seen him in this, I wouldn't have complained. I thought it would have made the movie even better. But when it comes to Josh Brolin now, because of scheduling difficulties, Pedro Pascal wasn't able to be part of this, so they gave it over to Josh Brolin. And Josh Brolin, I think he did phenomenal. I think that he is wonderfully casted. I really do see him as this very concerned parent who goes under this investigative these investigative actions to try and find his child, one of the missing children. I love the mystery of this movie. It was just so wonderful. I think that this movie itself alone is all it can be. I don't think, because they're even talking about exploring more of this, of doing either a sequel or a prequel to it. I don't think that they should. I think that it's just a really good movie within itself. And when and if you were to be doing sequels or prequels to, reveal the mysteries as to why this movie is so great, I think it'll ruin it. I think it will ruin it because you do this thing with like Michael Myers or Pennywise or the Jeepers Creepers. There's so much mystery within those characters, and with all the sequels that they continuously keep on getting, I think that it just destroys the very essence of what makes that character so great. It should be just a horror character altogether, and that's all it should be. It shouldn't be anything else. It should just be the way it is, just because, and that's what makes it great. And when it comes to this movie, like I said, the mystery of it is what makes it so good. And now, since the mystery is revealed as to what it is, I don't want to give out any spoilers because the movie is still pretty brand new. It just came out a couple of months ago, so it's fascinating to know that this popped up on streaming. But like I said, I would have loved to have gotten the opportunity to go to the theaters and watch it. But I still had a great time watching the film. Now, when it comes to the ending, the way everything comes to a close is overly satisfying. Overly satisfying. I just enjoyed every second. It was funny in an entertaining way, but in a satisfying way as well. I love on how it all happened. And you would think that, like, how everything was done, you would think that when whatever the cause of this is taken care of, and everything that has happened would go back to normal. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. It's not really a spoiler per se. I'm just trying to give off, certain hints as to what about it I did not. It's not that I didn't like. It's just that I really would have seen it go a whole other direction, because I've seen that direction gone that way before, and they went in a whole other way. They took a detour route to something else, and it's sad. It may be satisfying ending, but another part of the ending is just sad. You get some characters who come back from the way the narrating is described, but then there are so many others that don't. And that's the part that's just sad. There's a lot of horrifying moments in this, especially being in a child's perspective. You see something that's occurring, and you're just like, wow, that's horrifying. But yeah, this movie is just wonderful. I had a great time. Oh, Benedict Wong is in this. He is probably the scariest thing about this movie. He did it. Oh my god. he's just so wonderful as an actor playing this character who's the principal. He does a really great principal. I really do love on how he had performed that. And then just seeing what he becomes later on in the film, questionably, and then later on being revealed, is just wow. I mean, I'm so stoked. The director of this movie is the same director to the movie Barbarian. I have not seen Barbarian. I do not know what it's about. Just like how I don't know what this movie is about, Weapons. Barbarian, I hear that it is very good. That it's very good, and when I get the chance, I want to check that out. I hear that it's just because, like I said, the way that they put the movies, these horror movies, I'm just trying to avoid demonic films. I don't want to see anything demonic. Just anything that's like this. Even though that it still goes against my beliefs, because on what the answers to the questions are in this film. I would prefer this more than than it being a demonic movie. So that's my take on that. The movie's so great that the rating that I'm gonna go ahead and give this, I believe me, it is good. This is what we need. This is what we need. We need more of this. If we want to be really entertained, leaving the theaters or just having to finishing the movie itself is full satisfaction. And that's what this movie did. From original content. I'm just getting really tired of comic book movies. I'm getting tired of sequels. I'm getting tired of reboots. I'm getting tired of stories based off of books. I want original content, and this is one of them, including the last review that I did with The Substance. And then I'm going to be doing another review soon in a couple of days here with another movie that's based off of original content from a really great director and great performances. But yeah, this movie, I'm going to go ahead and give it 100%. 100% I give this movie. It's been a while since I've given out that rating, and it's a movie that I would continuously love to enjoy over and over again, especially during the Halloween seasons to come. But yeah, it was a great movie. Excellent, fun time, and I really do advise all of y'all, if y'all have not watched it, and if you're interested in watching it, go and watch it. I wasn't disappointed, and I really do believe that you won't be disappointed either. Can't make any promises, not every movie is perfect, but this one in particularly will keep you at the edge of your seat and fully entertained. So yeah, that's my review off of Weapons. If you guys have watched it, what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comment section on the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on YouTube at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Once again, everybody, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys once more again, and I'll see everybody in the next video. I hope that the lights come back on here soon because low battery. Bye.